Hey, board gamers, BJ for Board Game Gumbo here, back with another unboxing in the Gumbo pot. This time, it's Unmatched Adventures, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles style. Making Dave jealous. Dave Duga should be watching this. We're gonna open this up. Unfortunately, we were hoping to stream it tonight, but we'll have to do it next week. So we're going to just look and see what's inside and get this thing ready for our stream. So let's get right to the table, see what's inside this big old box. Unmatched Adventures is the cooperative version of Unmatched, where you can play with the heroes in the box against the villains in the box. In this particular case, it's Shredder and Krang and their minions. There's also another one that we have, the original Unmatched Adventures, which just had kind of some random characters, some fun ones though, some brand new ones. But the cool thing about the system is it's not only cooperative, but you can also mix and match. So you can take these characters, Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello, and Raphael, the four turtles. You can play them just as regular Unmatched characters, or even bring in other characters. For instance, we got the new Bruce Lee and Muhammad Ali set. We can bring those in to play the adventures. So it takes about 20 to 60 minutes. It's kind of a campaign thing where I think, at least that's what I've heard. I don't know a lot about it. And this is a review copy from Restoration Games, so just wanted to let you know that. Keep this for future reference. This product is not a toy. Okay, got a little warning there. Okay, in every language that it could be. Of course, we got the advertisement for all the other Restoration Games. This is the Unmatched core rules. We've seen this in the other sets. It kind of talks about how the game is played. The game is pretty simple. You're either playing a card as an action to like a scheme, it's called. It's little lightning bolts, playing at that. Or you're drawing a card, which is called maneuver, draw a card, and then move your fighters, or the third one is attack. That's the three things you can do in your turn. So because it's cooperative, instead of going after each fighter in the cooperative version that we're going to be playing, Unmatched Adventures, you're fighting against the big bad. So I don't know a lot about this particular one. And the other one that we played, it was The Martian, and the other, I forgot what the other one was, but okay, so this is the set rules specific. So this is the special rules for the four characters that are in this set and all their different powers. We'll take a look at those as we get in there. Lots of beautiful artwork. Main designers, of course. Oh, the Turtles are in there. So you got Brian Neff, Noah Cohen, Rob Davio, and Justin D. Jacobson. They've been involved in all the sets. In fact, Rob Davio and Brian Neff go all the way back to the original Star Wars one. But Jason Hager and Darren Reckner are the Turtles. And they brought us that cool set, the Sun's Origin, I think. I forget which sets they've been involved in, but the Turtles have done a lot of cool designs. Up and coming. They did that cool Logic and Lore game that I have over there from Weird Draft Games. That's a fun one. All right, so here's the adventure rules. This is the meat of this big old box that we've got. We are a cooperative game that uses the core rules and heroes from Unmatched in a new way. We've got two new villains, Shredder and Krang. Visual representation of all the different opponents. How to set up the game. Special setup for the two sides. We've got either the Shredder side or the Krang side. Playing the game. It's got a cool initiative system that I really enjoy, where each round you're going to kind of flip out some cards, and that's going to tell you which players and which enemies are going to play in what order. So it could be that the baddies get a couple of turns in a row, and then flip over the thing, and they got a couple more turns. So it could get pretty dangerous in there. End of the game. Player elimination. Yep. Talk about the enemies and how they work. Targets, all the different things that we've seen in cooperative games. Threat track. And adding the different fighters. You can even use the heroes as competitive. So this is the special rules for Shredder here. We have to defend the 5 boroughs of New York City. The main thing that it has. He's got foot soldiers that are going to attack us. And then for Krang, it's the Dimension X incursion, the border between the worlds. And so that's I'm assuming that's some kind of track that we want to make sure we don't allow him to do his doomsday machines or technodrome traps. And then we've got the minions. So each game you get to pick up a couple of minions or one or two minions, I can't remember now, to play. And we'll recognize some of these. Bebop and Rocksteady, of course, Baxter Stockman, Wingnut, Rat King Slash, and Leatherhead. So I recognize those from the cartoons. About the different allies, and that is it. There's the credits. Okay, that's a good glance at the rule book. Then we'll take a look. Oh, there's lots of stuff to punch out there, Dave. So we've got all the different help dials for the 4 main characters and their sidekicks. Leonardo as the captain, as the head of the kind of the de facto leader. He's of course going to be with Splinter, but Donatello will be with Metalhead, Michelangelo with April O'Neil, the reporter, and Raphael with Casey Jones. So we'll have to put those together. And then we've got the 6 minions, Leatherman Rat, the Rat King, Slash, Wingnut, all the different Bebop and Rocksteady, of course. To me, that's probably the most famous one. Maybe that's just from the cartoon. Then we've got some extra tokens, rat tokens and mouse tokens. Okay. Don't know exactly what those are going to be for. We'll see. There's that initiative that I talked about. Yeah. And then we've got health dials for the main 2 big bads, Krang and Shredder, of course. And then some extra tokens for dealing with Shredder. What if these serve sort of like the bridge tokens? It's the Mothman and the Alien, yeah. And then Krang special tokens. Okay. And then we've got a map. Okay, so usually the big sets, any set that has at least 2 characters is going to come with a map. The single character ones don't come with maps. Most of these are double-sided, as I recall. The Unmatched Adventures, I've never played them as competitive maps, but I guess you could play them, especially if you're playing a four-player game where you're playing 2-on-2, which is actually a lot of fun, by the way, if you haven't tried it. So this is the map for New York City. You can see the 5 boroughs. Let's see boroughs, but and then on this side we've got the Krang Technodrome. All right. Pretty interesting maps. If you're familiar with the Unmatched system, the maps basically show you all the different connections, the starting points for each of the different characters, and then your melee characters have to be next to each other. For the most part, Bruce Lee, Tyrannosaurus Rex breaks those rules. But the ranged weapon characters just have to be in the same area. I think that's from a game called Tannenhauser, and they kind of borrowed liberally from that. So, for instance, if I'm here and I've got an arrow shooting guy like Robin Hood, I can't hit all the way here, but I can hit anything in this zone. Obviously, being in these dual or tri or even quad color zones is very effective for a character that's a ranged weapon, because they can hit all of this, all of the orange, all the way into this corner, and then all of the gray. So that is pretty important. Big, beautiful map. These are some of the bigger maps, so definitely good for 4 players. We've got a nice little storage system here. Yeah. We've got the 4 characters, and I'll give you a look. These are really nice sculpts there. Oh, yeah. This. All right. So we got Michelangelo here. And then this and that is. This is where I show off my lack of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle history. That's Raphael and Michelangelo and Donna and Leonardo, of course. Yeah, with the 2 swords. And then Donatello with the bow stick. Yep. Great sculpts. They definitely look like the turtles. I love the action poses on some of them. Hey, Michelangelo is on a skateboard on a pipe. That's pretty cool sculpts. So I'm impressed with that. These will go back into there. Yep, very nice. Beautiful little sculpts. They're not painted. They're kind of got a wash on them, and I don't really paint mine, so, but I'm sure other people do, but they do look pretty good. All right. Yep, the top tray is going to come off. And we've got some places for the different allies or henchmen. And that's going to be in one of these bags, I'm sure. Yep. These are acrylic pieces. They're really nice looking. Some of the acrylic pieces, you can tell the difference between the allies and the henchmen, the bad guys, because those are in kind of a hexagonal hex format. And then you've got the allies are in the round circles. And as you can see, it's full color art that's inside that acrylic pieces, so they really stand out. They look really good on the table. Those in there. Depending on the set, some of these, some of the allies are going to be, different hit points. So you just have to look on the little cards that will tell us when we pop open those things, and then I'll show off the bad guys in there. So I normally call them sidekicks. And then of course these are the bad guys, the henchmen. And you can see all of them: the Rat King and Bebop and Rocksteady. All definitely have great artwork. So you can see all these nice extra tokens there. That's the red tracker, if I remember right. Been a while. We got lots of work to do. Oh, and then there's the sculpts for the two bad guys. Shredder. Oh, Shredder actually has a colored cape already on there. I don't know. I don't remember seeing that before. That's interesting. Shredder definitely looks like Shredder from the cartoons with a purple cape. That's interesting. I wasn't expecting that. And Krang has a little purple guy in there. Or that is Krang, I guess. The little brain that's inside the body, it's actually painted. So it kind of moves a little bit. Feels like it. Another great sculpt. Okay. And this will be their decks, I'm assuming. Let's see if we can show off some of that artwork. Oh, I love the production. I'm not sure who they use. I'm assuming it's Panda, but the production is just so nice. I mean, look how easy that rips out. So we'll see. These will be all the cards. This is Wingnuts cards with the artwork on the back. This is Slash's cards. Assuming not the guitars from Guns N' Roses, but that's a lot of cards. Okay. This is the Rat King's cards. That is cool artwork on the back. Almost looks like a wrestler almost. And then Leatherhead with the ever-present hat. This is really some strong card back art. Bebop and Rocksteady, of course, with the punk hairdo and the rhino horns. Got Daxter Stockman. I don't remember this one. Another minion. Like a big fly. And then we have Krang and Shredder's decks with their special cards showing their power and their defense. I mean, that is definitely Krang artwork with Shredder. Right. And is there anything else in here? Nice. Okay. We'll show off some of the cards real quick. I was bragging about how easy it is. Let's see. Oh man, it's just too easy. Production is fantastic, as usual. I do sleeve these cards. They don't feel like little stamped cards, so I do sleeve them because we do shuffle them a lot. Shuffle them a lot before and after a game. You really want to mix the cards well, so I do. This is the artwork from Michelangelo and April O'Neil. Got the nunchucks. And on the back, we've got the main card. It shows each character has a card like this, which kind of describes the special powers. And on the back side, gives you a reminder of the turn. You're either maneuvering, drawing a card, and moving your fighters, playing a scheme card, which is lightning bolts, or attacking. And it's just a good reminder of that. So Michelangelo, melee character, 14 hit points. April O'Neil as a reporter, lobbing things, ranged weapon, 6 hit points. Move of 3, that's pretty good. Pizza Party, that's the special power for this partnership. After you attack or scheme, you get to draw a card, and your starting and maximum hand size is 3. Oh, that's rough. But you constantly draw cards when you attack or scheme. Interesting. I don't know if I've seen that before. In fact, I don't remember another character that messes with the hand size like that. That's interesting. I'll just show up a couple of the cards. It's going to be familiar stuff we know, right? Like Heroes in a Half Shell, Turtle Power. Michelangelo is a party dude. Each friendly fighter recovers 1 health. Yeah, of course. There are a lot of scheme cards in here. Yeah, there are tons of them. Nunchucks add +1 to the value of Michelangelo's attacks this turn and gain an action. I love those kind of cards, little chaining cards. And let's go. After combat, move a friendly fighter up to 3 spaces. So lots of cards in here. Guaranteed delivery. Got the pizza. All right, that's Michelangelo. Let's go with Raphael. All right. I wonder if originals. How did they decide which of the 4 Italian? Well, why not Bernini? Okay, so Raphael's special power is anger issues. On each of your turn, the first time you lose a combat, you gain an action. He gets mad if he loses one. He tries again. I like that. Casey Jones is ranged, and Raphael's a melee with 17 health. And Casey Jones is 8, but only a move of 2. I'll show off a couple of the cards. Oh, I really like this one. Turtle Power, of course. During combat, you may boost this attack. Of course, that's what Raphael would do. Let's do this. Draw a card after combat, and if you won the combat, draw 2 cards. We've seen that card before. So, yep, beautiful. I mean, this is some really cool action. That really portrays what I think of. That's neat. This is good. Raphael. I like the artwork in this one. So far, maybe my favorite of what we've seen. Now we look at Leonardo, the leader. Leo. All right. The double-handed swords. He's a melee and a melee with Splinter, which makes sense. They're both going to get close quarter fighting. Big health, though, 16 and 9. A move of only 2, but at the start of your turn, they have a team tactics special power. Team tactics. At the start of your turn, you may move any fighter 1 space. Okay. So I'm assuming there's going to be some, oh, wow. Defensive 5 right off the bat. Okay. Turtle power, of course. I'm assuming there's going to be some ways that if you can maneuver fighters around, you can do stuff. Move each friendly fighter up to 3 spaces, draw 1 card. Wow, there's a lot of movement in there. Move both fighters in the combat up to 1 space each. You may discard a card to gain an action. Interesting. I like the artwork. This is definitely cartoony. Big ol' 6 attack. Wow. Okay. Splinter has a protective father. Splinter may swap spaces with another friendly fighter. If he does, they both recover 2 health and gain an action. Very cool card. Ooh, I like that. All right. Last but not least, we're going to look at Donatello. And then we got some playing to do at some point. All right. Donatello. Not as strong as the other ones. 14 and a 7 from Mellowhead. Both of them melee. They only move 2. Better have a pretty strong power if you're going to do all that. Inventive. When you maneuver, you may draw 2 cards instead of 1. If you do, put a card in your hand on the bottom of your deck. If you play an invention, tuck it under this card. Okay? Huh. Interesting. So they got the big, strong defense. I want to see these inventions here. Let's see. Donatello does machines. You and each other friendly fighter may return an attack, versatile, or defense card in their discard pile to their hand. Draw a card. Okay. Where are the machine cards? I wonder what they mean by inventions. Until those machines. Shift focused. Quick strike. Strike, short circuit. Thinking ahead. Party wagon. Bow staff. Deal damage to an opposing fighter adjacent to Donatello. Draw a card. I like that one. The future of ninjutsu. Look at the top card of any deck. You may put it on the bottom. Draw one card. Gain one action. Oh, I like that. All right. So after you play an invention, tuck it under this card. What are the inventions? I'll have to find that out in the rule book. So I'm going to check back on that. All right. So that's the artwork from all the different cards and a little bit about each of the characters. Artwork from the minions and the main baddies. We've got some work to do with all this, so let's get right back to that. All right, that's an inside look at Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Unmatched Adventures, the cooperative version of Unmatched with 4 new characters that you can play inside the co-op or outside, with some baddies that you'll be familiar with in the TMNT universe. And don't forget, not only can you use these characters in any of your Unmatched Adventures any of your Unmatched games, or even bringing it to Unmatched Adventures, the other one with the Mothman and the alien, the Martian, or you can actually bring the characters, your favorite characters from another set, right into this one to play with the Turtles. So can't wait to play this. We love Unmatched a lot. Thanks to Restoration Games for sending us this. I'm going to turn this over to Dave. Dave Dugas is going to help me with this one. And we'll either play it and take some pictures, or we'll even try to stream it if we can. So be on the lookout for that. Somewhere on the channel, you're going to see a deep dive into this set. So until next time, Laissez, bon temps, rouler.